congregation holding a microphone. Shabbat Shalom, and welcome to Shabbat at Temple Shalom. And we're going to start with Hinei Ma Tov. I think everybody knows that by heart. If not, I think it's on page 10 at the top of the page.
הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב. לה 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 לה. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב. La 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 la. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
Pre-candle reading by Nancy.
Our Bema guest is going to light the candles for Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
We're going to turn to page 9.
Avi, do you want me to read one of these?
Pardon?
Want me to read one of these?
Nah, we'll read responsively. There are days when we seek things for ourselves and measure failure by what we do not gain.
On Shabbat, we seek not to acquire, but to share.
There are days when we exploit nature as if it were a horn of plenty that can never be exhausted.
On Shabbat, we stand in wonder before the mystery of creation.
There are days when we act as if we cared nothing for the rights of others.
On Shabbat, we remember that justice is our duty and a better world our goal.
So we embrace Shabbat, day of rest, day of wonder, day of peace. I'm going to switch over to that because I'm not standing here all night holding a microphone.
Here.
We're going to turn Okay. We're going to turn to page 28, and please rise as we do the Baruch Hu.
La 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 Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Please be seated. We're going to turn to page 30. And we will read together in the English and then with the prayer at the bottom. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzvaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. Turn to page 32, where we will sing Ahavat Olam together.
Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amecha Avta Amcha Avta Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadata Otanu limadata Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shochbenu Uvkumenu nasiach behukecha V'nismach b'divrei toratecha Uv'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed Ki hem chayenu V'orech yamenu Uvahem nege yomam v'layla nege yomam v'layla V'ahavatcha al tasir mimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai Ohev amo Yisrael Ohev amo
Please rise as we turn to page 34 and recite the watchword of our faith.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Please be seated. We're going to turn to page 36, where we will sing the V'ahavta.
V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher Anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'vetecha u'v'lechtecha v'derech u'v'shochbecha u'v'kumecha Ukashartam leot al yadecha v'yayu letotafot beinenecha uchatavtam al mezuzot betecha uvisharecha Leman tizkuru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hietem kadoshim le'elochem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem le'elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem emet.
We're going to turn to page 39 in the middle of the page, and we will read responsively. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth.
The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love.
From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way.
Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces.
Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed.
Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea.
Turn to page 40, where we will sing Micha Mocha.
Ya la 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 ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha neter b'kodesh, nora tehilot osef eleh, nora tehilot osef eleh. מלכותך אהובנך, בוקע הים לפני משה ומרים, זליענו ואמרו, זליענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נטע בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה.
Thus it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Baruch atah Adonai Goal Yisrael. We're going to turn to page 44, and we will do Vishamru, or sing Vishamru.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. בני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
We're going to turn to page 46, where we will do, it says tefillah on the top, and I always refer to it as the Amidah, because you need to stand, so please rise as we open the ark.
Adonai שפתי תפתח ופי תהילתך. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah. האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך חוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה, רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחייך כל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים. הוא מקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומינו מלך. מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Please be seated. We're going to turn to page 55, and in the middle of the page, and again, we're going to read responsively. Disturb us, Adonai. Ruffle us from our complacency. Make us dissatisfied with the peace of ignorance, the quietude which arises from a shunning of the horror, the defeat, the bitterness, and the poverty, physical and spiritual, of humans.
Shock us, Adonai. Deny to us the false Shabbat, which gives us the delusions of satisfaction amid a world of war and hatred.
Wake us, O God, and shake us from the sweet and sad poignancies rendered by half-forgotten melodies and rubric prayers of yesteryears.
Make us know that the borders of the sanctuary is not the border of living, and the walls of your temples are not shelters from the winds of truth, justice, and reality.
Disturb us, O God, and vex us. Let not your Shabbat be a day of torpor and slumber. Let it be a time to be stirred and spurred to action. Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. Turn to page 57. In the middle of the page, we read together, You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levadcha b'yirah na'avod. Turn to page 58. I will do the first part in the Hebrew. Then we will read together the English and do the prayer at the final prayer at the bottom of the page. Modim anachnu lach, she'ata hu Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu le'olam va'ed. Sochayenu, magei ish'enu, atahu ledor vador. נודה לך ונספר את תהילתך על חיינו המסורים בידיך, ועל נשמותינו הפקודות לך, ועל ניסיך שבכל יום עמנו, ועל נפלותיך וטובתך שבכל עת, ערב, בבוקר וצהריים, הטוב כי לא חלו רחמך, והמרחם כי לא תמו חסדיך, מעולם קיווינו לך. Together, we acknowledge with thanks that you are Adonai, our God, and the God of our ancestors forever. You are the rock of our lives and the shield of our salvation in every generation. Let us thank you and praise you for our lives which are in your hand, for our souls which are in your care, for your miracles that we experience every day, and for your wondrous deeds and favors at every time of day, evening, morning, and noon. O good one whose mercies never end, O compassionate one whose kindness never fails, we forever put our hope in you. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'eh lehodot. Please turn to page 60, where we will sing Shalom Rav.
Shalom Rav, Yal Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Yal Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech adon, lecho ha-shalom. Ki ata hu melech adon, lecho ha-shalom. Shalom Rav, Yal Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Yal Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. V'tov b'einecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav, Yal Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Yal Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
We're going to turn to page 253. I'm giving you a heads up here before. And of course, what we are doing is praying for the welfare of our own. And our Mishaberach list, people who require our prayers so that they may recover and be in good health. Sherry Davies, Leah Dolman, Malia Willis, Judy Yesowich, Lev Dickerman, Carla Dunbar, John Lermit, Nash Zayed, Jim Todd, Steve Duvall, Susan Charlton, Austin Naamani, Carrie Kaplan, Stephen Rosakan, Karen Pass, Myra Tallenfeld, Frank Tallenfeld, Christopher Manikas, Paul Vrogendoy, Basha Bat Chana, Susan Glazer. If you have anyone that you would like to add to the list, as my hand passes in front of you, please recite their names. In the middle of 253, we will sing the Misheberach.
Misheberach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah leshema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We're going to take a few minutes for silent meditation, at which point we will sing the Oseh Shalom, and I believe for people who need the words that it's on page 67. I'm never quite sure. I'm going to look it up just to make sure I've got it right. Oh no, it's on 62, just if you need that.
Oseh Shalom imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, imru amen. Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalenu v'hakol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'hakol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'hakol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, Shalom Aleinu v'Hakol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom. Shalom Aleinu v'Hakol Yisrael. Oseh Shalom bimromav. Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu v'Hakol Yisrael. V'imru, imru, amen.
The Torah portion of the week is Parshat Korach. I'm quite familiar with this for one very good reason. This is about the time that Rabbi goes to work in camp, and when I cover, I seem to always land on this parsha. At any rate, we're dealing with a rebellion here, a rebellion against Moses. There was a rebellion led by a man named Korach. And Korach had a serious grievance. He was upset that Elitzaphan, the son of his father's brother, was appointed prince over his family. Because, now, when you say prince, the word nasi means both prince and president. They weren't actually, we're not talking about royal prince. We're talking about a system of government. You might as well say president of the tribe. And the prince of the father's house of the families of the Kehatites, and Kehat was the grandfather of Korach, was Eliphatzan, the son of Uzziel. There were 4 sons of Kehat. Amram, who was a forebearer of Moses, Aaron, and Miriam. You had Yitzhar, Hebron, and Uzziel. Now, the firstborn was Amram. Moses was the leader of the Israelites. Aaron was the high priest. The next son was Yitzhar. Well, Yitzhar was Korach's father, but he was passed over, and the son of the youngest brother, Uzziel, was named prince of the tribe. This did not sit well with Korach at all. Who then should rightly take the next office? Is it not the next in line? Now I, being the son of Yitzhar, should be the leader of the Kehatites. Yet Moses appointed the son of Uzziel. Shall the son of the youngest of my father's brothers be superior to me? Behold, I shall dispute his decision and put to naught all that has been arranged by him. Not only was he aspiring to be the leader of that family, he also wanted to be the high priest. And in his own, I guess the way to put it is he felt sorely aggrieved about being passed over for everything. Now, he incited a rebellion against Moses. He is joined by Datan and Aviram and On, the son of Peleth, all of the tribe of Reuben. Also participating in this rebellion are 250 leaders of the community those regularly summoned to assembly, men of renown. They come to Moses and they say, enough, the entire community is holy and God is amongst them. Why do you raise yourselves above the congregation of God? When Moses heard it, he fell on his face. Now, keep in mind, Moses was chosen by God. Aaron was chosen by God, not by Moses, by God. And Moses didn't do squat without getting permission from the Supreme One. The reason I say Supreme One instead of, because I am not about to assign a gender to a deity. We do that, that's anthropomorphic. You've got the goddess, you've got the god, depending on what religion. I think a supreme being goes beyond that. But as it turns out, gender will play an important part in this story. So when it becomes clear that Korach and the 250 men are renowned, are aspiring to the kehunah, the priesthood. That's where the word Cohen comes from, kehunah, the priesthood. Moses challenges them to offer a ketoret, a sacrifice to God, the most sacred of the divine services in the sanctuary, permitted only to a priest and only under special circumstances. Aaron, who is known as the Kohen Gadol, the high priest, is usually the one that is supposed to offer that offering. Come morning, and God will show who is his and who is holy, and whom he has chosen will he bring near to him. And that was the challenge. Korach and the 250 men accept the challenge. They took every man his censer, censer is what you burn incense in, and put fire in them and laid incense on them and stood in the door of the tent of meeting with Moses and Aaron. People are sympathetic to Korach's rebellion and gather en masse at the entrance to the sanctuary. God doesn't take kindly to this at all. And he says to Moses and Aaron, separate yourselves from among this congregation, and I shall consume them in a moment. They fell on their faces and said, O God, God of the spirits of all flesh, shall one man sin and your wrath be upon the entire community? They were pleading for people. Datan and Aviram had already refused Moses' summons, and now Moses goes to them in an effort to quell the mutiny, but they remain defiant. Now, as a side note, Datan and Aviram were the ones who ratted Moses out to Pharaoh when that he had killed an Egyptian overseer. So they're already on a short leash. The moment of truth arrives, and Moses says, hereby you shall know that God has sent me to do all these works, for I have not done them of my own mind. He's still giving them a chance. If these men die the common death of all men, or if they be visited after the visitation of all men, that God has not sent me. But if God creates a new creation, and the earth opens her mouth and swallows them up with all that appertain to them, and they go down alive into the abyss, then you shall understand that these men have provoked God. Soon as he finishes, the earth opens and swallows up Korach and all those who were standing with him. The rest of Israel fled because they were terrified they were going to get swallowed up. And for the contenders from the priesthood, they basically got electrocuted by lightning that came right out of their censers, which later on which they were told to bury because they were now unclean. Now, there was one guy that was mentioned named On of Pelet, or the son of Pelet. This is the lesson that we're coming to, because he was spared. Why was On spared? He was saved by his wife. See, Korach's wife egged Korach on. She got swallowed up. And a lot of these other guys, their wives egged them on. But the son of the son of Peleth was saved by his wife, and I'm sorry that she was not named. She said to him, "What matters it to you whether one remains the leader or the other becomes leader? You will be but a follower." And he says, "But what can I do? I have taken part in their council, and they have sworn me to be with them." She said, "Sit here, and I will save you." She gets him drunk to the point where he just literally passes out. Then she sits outside the tent and loosens her hair. By loosening her hair and sitting in front of the tent, the men can go no farther, because that is a behavior that whoever came, they went back, because basically it was basically like indecent exposure, just letting her hair down. That's the only way I can put it. I don't want to go into any more details on that. At any rate, so she saved him. And whereas Korach's wife had said, "See what Moses has done. He himself has become king. His brother he appointed high priest. His brother's sons he made the vice high priests." So, and if it is a trumah, which is part of the sacrifice that is given to the priests for them to consume, and she goes on and on. Well, she got swallowed up, as did all of the other wives. And the Talmud says, "Thus it is written, a wise woman builds her house, but the foolish woman destroys it with her hands." And there's another expression, a good woman's worth cannot even be measured in rubies, and I think this really applies here. The point is that a righteous woman, behind every man there's a righteous woman, a wise woman. At least every good man. Behind an evil man, frequently, you have his soulmate in that as well. So, that is the lesson. Marry a good woman, you're in good shape. Shabbat Shalom, and now we're going to have the announcements from our Bima guest, Linda Klein.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Saturday Shabbat services will begin at 10:30 a.m. and will not be streamed this week. Temple Shalom office closed today in observance of Juneteenth, the federal holiday marking the end of slavery in the United States. The office will reopen Monday at its normal time. On Saturday, June 27th, Temple Shalom will join Walk for Peace, a downtown march to show love transcends all. The walk will start at 9 a.m., again, June 27th, outside the Presbyterian Church USA on on Witherspoon Street, 100 Witherspoon Street. And you can look for the Temple Shalom banner, which will be carried by Mark and Lee Chotner. The walk will be over by 11 a.m. and registration is required. How do people register? Well, look for that information in the e-blast. Our next BLT, Bagels, Lox, and Toros, is set for Saturday, July 11th at 10:30 at the JCC Boardroom. Come hungry, and everyone is welcome to that. Save the date. Join us for Jewish Heritage Day at Slugger Field on Sunday, July 12th at 1 p.m. This is a community, Jewish community thing where many people will come from all different synagogues. A great way to support Temple Shalom is by purchasing a cash book coupon book for the low cost of $20. You'll be able to save all year on groceries, local restaurants, fun activities throughout Louisville and the surrounding area. The Kroger coupons alone will save you $60. Please contact Latanya in the Temple Shalom office or Matt Doctorow to make a purchase. And more details about all of these events can be found in our weekly email blast. If you are not receiving our email blast and would like to, please contact Latanya in the office so you can be added to our mailing list. Thank you to Elliot Eckel, who is leading us in our music tonight, and thank you to Travis, who is streaming services tonight. Shabbat Shalom. Pardon me? The link to register for the walk is in the class. Okay, good.
Okay. We're going to turn to page 282. Please rise for the Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא הבראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה. שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובהי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו. ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת הים והונאות לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בימים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, Ushemo, Ushemo, Ushemo Echad, Ushemo Echad.
Please be seated. We're going to read on page 290. In the middle of the page, responsively. It is a fearful thing to love what death can touch.
A fearful thing to love, hope, dream, to be, and oh, to lose.
A thing for fools this, and a holy thing to love.
For your life has lived in me, your laugh once lifted me, your word was gift to me.
To remember this brings a painful joy. 'Tis a human thing, love, a holy thing to love what death has touched. Turn to page 294. I'm going to read something from 295 first. We think our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. We remember Gertrude Cohen, Jane Album Glazer, Dora Goldwyn, Joseph Gravette, Harry Cantor, Alex Penner, Andrew Weiner, Elsie Weiner. We're in a period of Shloshim for Nelson Goodman. We rise as we recite the Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shmei Rabbah, Be'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, B'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevorach leolam leolmei olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yithalal Shmei dekudusha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Da'amiran bi'alma v'imru Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shamaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Please be seated. I want to thank our Bima guest, Linda Klein, and we will end on Bim Bam.
Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam.
Shabbat Shalom, we will gather in the lobby to do Kiddush and Motzi.